to you by Sayaka. Cooking with electricity is now so affordable with the Fumba tariff set by the Electricity Regulatory Authority.
A very good evening and welcome to our second edition of UBC News Tonight on this 23rd day of October 2022. Before we get into tonight's newscast, let's first take a look at the top stories of the night. In our top stories tonight, VP Alupo urges the Ateke to grow more fruits as Soroti Fruit Factory expands. Nabanja camps in Mpigi arrests 2 district officials. UNEB sets tough guidelines against examination malpractice. Good evening once again. I'm Lauryn Kazimoto. Now, the Vice President, Jessica Lupo, joined fellow Christians for the Bishop of Soroti Diocese, the Right Reverend Koseo Dong pastoral visit and confirmation ceremony in Katakwi District. Major Lupo, who is also the Woman MP for Katakwi District, urged the faithfuls to live healthy and careful lifestyles if they are to achieve their dreams. She encouraged the farmers to embrace passion fruit growing more fruits because government has already given 48 billion Uganda shillings towards the expansion of Soroti Fruit Factory. We have the details.
The factory was commissioned in 2019 and has recently started on expansion plans undertaken by the Uganda Development Corporation (UDC). This expansion will see increased demand for supply from the farmers. Vice President Major Retired Jessica Alupo used the occasion to further popularize the Parish Development Model (PDM), a government strategy for organizing and delivering public and private sector interventions for wealth creation and employment at the parish level, which is the lowest economic planning unit for rural development.
Parish Development Model
Bishop Kosea Odongo, in his message, advised Christians to continue working hard to combat the poverty levels in households. The bishop also urged the congregation to promote the education of both the girl child and boy child to achieve full social and economic transformation. At the ceremony, the Vice President was accompanied by Honorable Rose Lily Akelo, the woman member of Parliament for Karenga, who also doubles as State Minister for Ethics and Integrity, and Bosco Okiror, the Member of Parliament for Usup County, who also doubled as Chairperson Teso Parliamentary Group. Etole Ed Akenjo, UBC News.
2 district officials from Mpigi and Gomba are being held for interrogation after presenting inconsistent accountabilities on road construction works in the 2 districts. This happened during a meeting called to discuss the state of roads and other social services in Mpigi, Butambala and Gomba districts. The meeting, which took place at Mpigi District Police Station Playground, was chaired by Prime Minister Robina Nabanja.
The long arm of the law is catching up with officials from Mpigi and Gomba districts who are being investigated over presenting inconsistent accountabilities on road construction works. The Prime Minister Robina Nabanja, accompanied by a cross-section of ministers, held a similar meeting in Luwero, Nakaseke and Nakasongola districts. The meetings are meant to address effective service delivery and challenges affecting the people across the country.
Oyo ingiri agenda akole statement. Tujja mujayencha oba ku Monday. Tudemu tuwetolooza enguudo zonna zaatulaze wano muzaakolebwa. Ate ajja kusesema esente ajja kuzikomyawo. Naye ffenna mwenna abali wano buli omu alina olubimbi okulaba nti ebintu ebyo ebiva mu gavumenti bitambula bulungi.
For example, esente ez'emyoga parish development model
twali tukisuubiza manifesto kitambula era kitambula kitya kati fenaffe nga bwe tuli wano tuli mu kutunula okulaba emirimu gino nga bwe gitambula.
During the meeting, it was discovered that the chairman and Piggy district has overlapping responsibilities.
You are the chairperson of LC5. Now who is supervising who?
Madam Prime Minister, it is very right. Elections are on this committee. We are always guided by the technical officers, and the elections are from the Member of Parliament and members of the committee, and the elections happened. We stood and it was chosen to be chairperson, guided by the technical officers in that regard.
The ministers, who included local government minister Raphael Magezi and Haruna Kasoro of microfinance, advised Piggy LC5 chairman to give responsibilities to other people.
Obwa minister of finance no bwengudo buzito nnyo bulekere kansala wosigale oli wagulu waabwe ng'obalabirira abakye bakola. So chairman kwalo obuwabuzi bwa prime minister butuufu buli ba technical officers banaakutegeera nti gwe ebyamateeka si byoliko bagenda kukola bye baagala.
A number of local leaders who attended the meeting contested some sections of the presentation.
Ne baleeta ebigoma ne bayiwamu ettaka naye oluguudo lwayiwamu ettaka terunalongooka. Ekimu ku kyo kireese obuzibu nguudo era mukama wange nkukakasa enguudo zonna bwe baziraze wano bazaakolebwa wabula gaddibe ngaje.
Other issues brought to the attention of the Prime Minister included rampant land grabbing and theft of road equipment. Raphael Magezi, the local government minister, asked for a forensic audit of local revenue collection in Mpigi.
Omusuubuzi omwe bw'aba asasula $5,600 ekisoboka nti kayabwe yonna yonna esolooza $5,000,000 omwaka gwonna.
The state minister for water, Aisha Shekindi, encouraged the public to embrace environmental conservation.
Bwe tutalongoose butonde bwansi ne tuzaawo obutonde bw'ensi ne tubukuuma jealously ne tusimba emiti tukwatagana bulungi amazzi n'ago ge tubadde tuyina gagenda kukola ki?
The meeting was graced by the Vice Chairman NRM Buganda Region, Godfrey Kiwanda Suwi, and Rose Namayanja, the NRM Deputy Secretary General, among others.
Uganda National Examination Board Legal Officer Anne Kimali has warned teachers and school administrators against engaging in examination malpractice or risk punishment. Anne Kimali made the remarks during the UNEB update with UBC, with a few days remaining for candidates to write their final exams.
Candidates now need prayers and guidance from the Almighty to succeed in their final examinations as they look forward to securing their future. This, however, has come with caution from Uganda National Examination Board as they prepare writing their examinations.
Tomorrow morning we are beginning with physics practical. That's the paper you're going to have in the morning, and we do expect all the candidates to be able to sit this examination starting at 9 o'clock. And during the last week, we had many cases of malpractice, quite a number of cases of malpractice regarding impersonation. This usually happens especially with the practical papers. This week we have a number of practical papers, chemistry, physics, and we want to caution the candidates once again not to get involved in malpractice because you're definitely going to be caught by the law. However, we also want to encourage those who want to give us information. We have a whistleblowers policy which is going to protect you, and under this policy, once you give us correct information which eventually leads us to a malpractice case, you will be compensated, but most importantly, you're also going to be protected. No one is going to know that you're the one who gave us the information, so we want to encourage the members of the general public out there to please make use of the Whistleblowers Act. You can call us on our toll-free number, which is 08002 11077.
Kimali says cases of examination malpractices are to be prioritized by court.
We have a fine of 20 million
or imprisonment, custodial sentence of 5 years. Okay? It can be either or it can be both, depending on the judicial officer. I want to clarify something. The public may be confused if that is the fine. How come the case that has just been concluded by court, the person was fined 4.8 million? This is because this person did not waste court's time. The moment she was brought on the stand, she pleaded guilty. So court considers different things. The magistrates use their discretion. Any other magistrate maybe would have even said, you pay the amount as stipulated in the act. But the magistrate used her discretion and decided to convict her on her own plea, a fine of 4.5 and 4.8 million, in default of which, or when she fails to pay, she goes to jail.
The Principal Public Relations Officer, Uganda National Examinations Board, Jennifer Musamba, cautioned candidates against examination malpractice.
Candidates want to urge you to be vigilant. Make sure that you don't get involved in cases of indiscipline, because once you do that, anything can happen. Having a UNEB index number or being a candidate of UNEB does not mean you're over and above the school rules and regulations. So I want to urge you to please be disciplined. Keep discipline, keep within the school rules and regulations, because short of that, you're going to be suspended. And
the public has also been asked not to contaminate their children with examination cheating theories. So that Kaye, UBC News.
Sex workers hailing from hotspots of Kijungu and Mbara city suburb have been given business boosts. Majority of these are said to be orphans and victims of family violence. We have details in this report.
Being a cosmopolitan area, Mbara City has been a home for thousands of commercial sex workers from the neighboring districts, with their concentration centers being Roti and Kijungu.
We have a certain parade ground where in the evening, by 7, you find almost 200 or 300 young ladies selling themselves. So you see, we have a dilemma. Because when we have young people who are engaged in prostitution, it means that the young people are going to be affected with HIV.
Reports indicate that these found themselves into this business due to pressing issues from their respective homes, among which include peer groups, burden of orphanage, and endless domestic fights.
As we interact, this is what they say. Number one, some of them do say it is because there was SGBV, gender-based violence in our homes. Mama and Papa were fighting every now and then until we felt home is not a safe place to live in. And then we ran away. Number two, it happens that many of them, the fathers married other wives. And those wives who came in mistreated them to the point.
Statistics indicate that Mbarara City has got 6,350 commercial sex workers. The influx of these is reportedly to have contributed to the increase of HIV/AIDS spread, with Mbarara City only standing at 13.6%. Some of these commercial sex workers have, however, been relieved from their business. The Embassy Church of Christ International, located in Kijungu area, headed by Reverend Norman Vincent, has managed to train some of these in hands-on skills in tailoring and hairdressing to enable them start on businesses other than continuing in sex trade.
If you are there and you feel you can give us at least one sewing machine, you can give us one dryer, hand dryer. You can give us anything that can help these guys. You can at least train one. You can pay a teacher who can train these girls. Okay, we will be very grateful, and God will be very grateful.
The beneficiaries couldn't hold back their emotions and tears as they received tailoring machines and hair dryers as their starting capital.
We have given out 2 big cup dryers to the most vulnerable, and 3 hand dryers also to the less vulnerable, to the most vulnerable, so that they can just begin life from there.
We have begun a process of how we can meet the leadership and other prostitutes so that they are able to change or adjust through mindset change, through advising them, career guidance.
Some of the sex workers whom we spoke to told us that they have many of their colleagues who wish to leave the activity, but they don't have any other alternative runaway. This has also been confirmed by Norman Vincent, the regional overseer for Pentecostal churches.
We have now finished 40, but we have registered 360 We have 360 registered. We didn't have much to begin with all of them, so we decided to keep on having 2020 as a batch.
For those sex workers who might not be able to tap into this training opportunity, have been asked to make use of the parish development model funds to better their lives.
UBC News Tonight. Now, in March 2022, about 2,000 unaccompanied refugee children were received in Chisoro, out of whom 438 were transited to Nachivale Refugee Settlement in Isingiro District. It has been established that special attention is given to these children to ensure proper care and attention for inclusive treatment.
It is not clear where their parents are. What seems clear, though, is that these children are desperate, lonely, and hungry. A reason why 2 hours later, they join fellow refugees to receive food here at Nyakavande Holding Center in the Western District of Kisoro. Not knowing the whereabouts of their parents, some are living on their own. It is an encounter that refugee handlers are finding a challenge.
These are among the USCs whom we are taking care of here in Nyakavande, but they are not staying with their relatives.
They are here not because they wanted to. It is because they were caught up in a conflict that saw them cross to Uganda from Democratic Republic of Congo. Such encouraging statements on their clothing tell them to worry less and smile more. But there is a devil in the detail. The facial expression tells a totally different story of young souls suffering consequences of actions caused by other people's political disagreements.
The main goal of child protection, it is to relocate children from the transit centers to the settlement. And when they reach here, the first thing we do, it is assessment for the children, because we want to find the protection needs of the children and we support accordingly.
They are handled in 3 categories: those completely not accompanied by any adult, those whose relatives are not biological parents, and others with disabilities. Upon successful profiling and intensive technical interviews, they are relocated to different settlements.
We do refer them. There is a proper, clear referral mechanism right from the transit center to the settlements, whereby the different partners operating at the transit refer to their colleagues or even same organizations.
On arrival in settlements, United Nations High Commission for Refugees, alongside other humanitarian agencies, takes over the responsibility.
And then when they come to Nakivale, we are doing a comprehensive BIA to understand their needs and also to understand whether they have relatives or they have families, and if they have, in which settlements they are. And we are trying to locate the family members or parents of these children when we receive them in Nakivale, and we reunify them with their families or relatives.
The number of refugee children without parents increased in this area in the period of June and July 2022. This followed outbreak of conflict between M23 rebels and DRC government forces. Nachivale Refugee Settlement is currently home to about 438 unaccompanied refugee children. These are part of the 2,000 received since March at Nyakavande Holding and Transit Centers in Kisoro District.
So we identify foster families who are willing to take care of these children, and these foster families also are being supported to take care of these children.
The increase in the number of these defenseless refugee children comes in the wake of conflict, which has just resumed in the eastern DRC. As to who will save the situation is a question that comes in the midst of children suffering, parents displaced, as well as women and men disabled. Henry Okrut, UBC.
Now, in 1992, President Yoweri Museveni visited Katonga in Maokota County, which is part of the Luwero Triangle. In tonight's Commander-in-Chief, we bring you what transpired.
Welcome to Commander-in-Chief Files, and in this episode of CNC Files, we call forth what happened in 1992 when the Commander-in-Chief, His Excellency Lieutenant General Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, visited Katonga. He urged Ugandans to have food stored in granaries as a way of preparing for dry spells.
Enjala eno esinze kuva mu kutabeera n'ebyaji. Abantu ebyebyaji babivaako. Ate n'abafuzi ab'omu byalo tebakyakubiriza abantu okukuuma reserve. N'olwekyo kyandibadde kirungi okutereka emmere eyo ey'ensibo mu buli maka. Mukole nga twali tukola edda okubeera n'ebyaji, so that if there is a bad season, we are not living from hand to mouth.
The President also thanked the Wananchi for having cooperated with them during the days of the struggle, besides River Katonga being the best natural barrier in their strategy to defeat the government forces then.
I would like to salute the contribution of the people of this area to our struggle against the dictatorship of Okero in 1985. I would like you to know that the defeat we inflicted on Okero's army in 1985 at Katonga here was decisive. We had been defeating Obote's army and Okero's army previously. That was not the first time we had defeated them, but the defeat at Katonga was decisive. In fact, I told our commanders that we shall fight the Battle of Kampala at Katonga. We shall not fight it in Kampala, it will be finished here. We had selected this place deliberately because it had good conditions for inflicting a decisive defeat on the enemy because of the terrain of the but also the population were supporting.
On the 21st of October 2022, Uganda High Commission Dar es Salaam hosted a dinner in commemoration of Uganda's 60th independence anniversary at Serena Hotel, Dar es Salaam. The event was attended by senior government officials of the United Republic of Tanzania, members of the diplomatic corps, the academia, Ugandans living in Tanzania, as well as the business community.
Uganda's High Commissioner to Tanzania, Colonel Fred Mwesije, has congratulated all Ugandans upon attaining the 60th anniversary of Uganda's independence. This was at a dinner he hosted in commemoration of Uganda's 60th independence anniversary at Serena Hotel, Dar es Salaam. He hailed the excellent bilateral relations existing between Uganda and the United Republic of Tanzania, demonstrated through our strong historical bonds of friendship and solidarity.
We are celebrating 60 years of independence, and we celebrated our main event in Uganda on the 9th of October, but I'm required as a High Commissioner to celebrate with groups in Uganda.
He emphasizes that there is a need for Africa to integrate both physically and economically and become one big market, which would be the best formula for creating a framework of guaranteeing the security and prosperity of our people.
Watanzania ni jirani wetu na tunamshukuru Mungu kutuweka majirani na tumetumia undugu huo kufanya vitu mingi. Tuna pipeline kutoka Uganda mpaka Tanga, hiyo itazalisha mali nyingi ya kusaidia Watanzania na ndio namna tunaweza tukawapa asante.
The Director, Department of Africa and the Minister of Foreign Affairs and the East African Corporation of the United Republic of Tanzania, Naimi S.A. Aziz, said the stronger fraternal relations built by both heads of state through joint infrastructure projects, especially the ECOP project, would benefit the locals and transform their lives.
Tanzania na Uganda ina historia ya muda mrefu sana, historia ya urafiki, historia ya kidugu, ya kidamu, ambayo tunazidi kuendeleza. Ni uhusiano ambao umehudumishwa na kumarishwa na viongozi wetu wa sasa hivi, Rais Samia Suluhu Hassan, Rais wa Jamhuri ya Muungano wa Tanzania, na Mheshimiwa Yoweri Museveni, Rais wa Uganda, kuhakikisha kwamba mahusiano yetu bado yanaendelea kudumishwa, na tunashirikiana katika nyanja mbalimbali, sekta mbalimbali. Tumewekeza kwenye miradi ya pamoja. Leo umezungumza sana kuhusu mradi wa pipe gesi ya mafuta kutoka Hoima hadi kutoka Hoima Uganda hadi Changaliani Tanga. Ni mradi mkubwa sana, mradi ambao utabadilisha maisha ya Watanzania na Waganda na nchi zetu na chumi zetu pia.
Ivan Juko for UBC News.
The outgoing Bishop of Mukono Diocese, James Williams Sebagala, has lashed out at parents who don't love their children as a calls for a redundant society. Bishop Sebagala was speaking at the dedication of candidates and confirmation of Anglicans at All Saints Junior School, Namataba.
I will do so, the Lord being my helper.
You repent of your sins.
At least 118 youth have been confirmed into the Anglican faith at All Saints Junior School, Namataba, by the Bishop of Mukono Diocese, the Right Reverend James Williams Sebagala. He reminded parents to be role models of their children in nurturing a God-fearing generation.
So it is really absurd that many of our godparents, the Anglicans, we don't take our responsibilities seriously.
He challenged parents to cooperate with godparents for nurturing the young Christians and hailed private schools for their roles in subsidizing government effort in educating Ugandans. He also dedicated primary 7 candidates who are due to start PLE in November.
God Almighty, the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit be upon these our children. Give them success, not only success, but success that will.
The director, Godfrey Banana, hailed Bishop Sebagala's legacy during his pastoral work, which has put Mukono Diocese on the map. He donated a memoir to Bishop Sebagala for his outstanding work and later launched a magazine in memory of Bishop Sebagala.
We recognize your priestly ministry service to the Lord and the difference you have made in the lives of so many as a preacher, elder, teacher, and counselor. Now, as the day dawns on the next chapter in your life, may Lord's blessings be upon you.
Earlier parents were treated to a parade by pupils, another attribute of developing patriotism and call to duty. Sudat Kaye, Douglas Setumba, UBC News.
State Minister of Finance for Investment and Privatization, Evelyn Anite, has urged people struggling with problems and challenges not to give up, but always seek for God's guidance as the supreme controller of everything. She conveyed the message at a day's prayer session at Bethel Healing Center International Church, Pride Theatre, where she donated mattresses to orphans under Pastor Irene Manjeri's care and custody.
The Minister of State for Investments and Privatization, Evelyn Anite, has donated mattresses to the orphans under the care and custody of Pastor Irene Manjeri. Anite asked the children and they needed to put their trust in Jesus the Redeemer.
Told me about her, the calling of God upon her to serve Him and also support the orphans. The children, bringing them in the presence of God and by teaching them the word of God will not make them to despair.
Bethel Healing Center Church lead Pastor Irene Manjeri lauded President Museveni for granting Ugandans the freedom of worship, appreciating the donation by the visiting minister.
It's okay for me to recognize something good that someone has done. President Yoweri Museveni is the only president in this country that gave us, as Pentecostals and other religions, a freedom of worship. We will never forget that. And we should continue to pray for him for that. The Honorable has given us a lot of mattresses. I'm not even going to mention the number because there are very many for our orphanage school.
The Patron Miracle Center Cathedral Rubaga Pastor Robert Kayanja advised the Ugandans against embracing the externalization of labor adventures that have often ended in tears for many people.
The problem in the world today is capital. Governments are looking for capital, everybody is looking for capital. And yet you may find out that Ugandans have capital, but we are putting it in a wrong system.
This was at a prayer crusade organized at a groundbreaking event for the construction of Mountain of Miracles Cathedral Namlanda.
We need to develop hedge funds, we need to develop systems that people can put their capital in. But right now, what we have, there's money we have. For example, someone goes abroad, it takes about 4 to 6 million by the time he flies out, just to buy ticket and other things that you have to do. Now, you multiply that one by 1 million people who go outside, 1 million.
Speaking at the same event, Pastor Margaret Musungu commended Pastor Kayanja for being her great spiritual mentor.
We heard about so many accidents. I personally have seen so many things happen here. When I purchased this land, I saw demons, I saw very many things, two-headed snakes, very many things have happened here. The Lord gave us this land, we prayed about it, we've been praying on it, and God has finally sanctified it. But what happened today was just a stamp I'll call it a stamp, that the Lord has separated the mountain for himself.
I'm Ivan Juko for UBC News.
Lugazi Diocese Bishop Matthias Sekamanya has advised the public to appreciate prayer and devotion to achieve set goals and expectations. This was during a dedication prayer and bestowing of the sacrament of confirmation to pupils of Namilyango Boys School in Seta.
In a few days from now, Namilyango Junior Boys School will have 179 candidates sit for their primary living examinations. This P7 class at Namilyango Junior Boys School has in fact been dedicated to the Lord by Lugazi Diocese Bishop, who believes that with a religion, all is possible and well.
Nesakalamento lya konfirmasyo ekitegeeza kati omanye ebikulu mu ddiini ebiyinza okuyamba okuyisa ng'omukristu bw'ayisa nga Eklezia Katolika kyetegeeza abakulu mu Eklezia Katolika ye Paapa n'Abeepiskopi bwe bayigiriza. Bw'obigolera Omukama ajja kuwa eggulu.
During the same service, 292 learners have been conferred the Holy Sacrament of Confirmation. Namilyango Junior Boys School administrators are optimistic that devotion and faith will secure desired education success, but importantly, disciplined citizens.
The Lord is your shepherd. You have chosen to do this yourselves because you had time to go for instructions. You had to forward home your time for playing, to make sure that at least you go for instructions. You wanted it to be confirmed. Last week, there were some boys who were dodging, and the sisters threatened that they were not going to receive the confirmation. And they went and cried until the sisters took them back.
Nebaza abamu nti bavuddeyo ne baleetera abaana abo ebibakwatako ebikwata ku ddiini yaabwe, era ogenda okukakkana ng'omwana akula n'omutima omuwombeefu, omutima ogumanya bantu banne, omutima ogutalinga gwa nsolo. Naawe ensolo ogimanyi, ku nsolo ginaye bwekutuuka okulya teyagala eri yokka, naye tugenza okukizuula kukigoberera ennyo ng'abaana bano batandikira wano. Ogenda okulaba nga afaayo ku muto munne, tamulyako kintu, bw'amusanga ng'afunye obuzibu n'amuyamba.
I'm here to represent to all those my friends out there that they should continue being attentive to the Catholic Church, and also to my brother, sisters, and all my relatives, that not to give up in the Catholic community.
UBC News Tonight takes a short break but returns after these messages.
So, I'm here to announce that the MTN Kampala Marathon is back. And this year, we are running for babies. To be clear, I am not talking about a baby. No. And neither am I talking about a baby. I am talking about these small dollars.
Run for babies in the MTN Kampala Marathon on Sunday, 20th November 2022. Dial *165 *77# or use the Momo app to register.
Welcome to Friend Stadium. Everybody's ready. Wait a second, not everybody. Come on, dude, it's the FIFA World Cup. You're going to lose your seat, the ritual seat, the lucky one. Losing more than a seat, your team is going to lose. Where are you, dude? The match is about to start. Your friends won't hold on much longer. Excuse me. Finally, everything is in the right place. Hey, other hand. And you, do you have everything you need to believe?
The Ministry of Health informs the public that there are confirmed cases of Ebola in Uganda. We, however, urge the public not to panic as the situation is being managed. The Ministry of Health further reminds the public to be on the lookout for any persons who may show signs and symptoms of Ebola. These include high body temperature, abdominal pains, diarrhea, vomiting, bleeding from the body openings such as the nose, eyes, and mouth. Please inform the nearest health worker immediately if you see anyone with these signs and symptoms. To prevent Ebola from spreading further, please take the following preventive measures: regular washing of hands with water and soap, avoid handshaking and hugging, avoiding any contact with any suspected Ebola patients. Any person who dies suddenly should not be buried but reported to the nearest health worker or LC1 immediately. For further information, please call the Ministry of Health toll-free number on 0800 100-066 or send a free SMS to your report on 8500. This message is from the Ministry of Health with support from UNICEF and World Health Organization.
MTN joins the people of Keralur to celebrate the 12th coronation anniversary of the King of Keralur, His Royal Majesty Ubim Philip Raoni III in October. At MTN, we believe that we only succeed if the communities in which we operate succeed. And so, we're happy to join the people and well-wishers of the people of Keralur in promoting social cultural programs of the Ubim.
Walego Mugisa ni Ubimu ku Keralur.
It's better to foster respect instead of fear and pain.
Cause a good school equals a better life.
Raising voices. Meet Professor Petero. He knows something every hustler in UG is gonna love.
Just get that all money pay so that all money comes direct to your business wallet and only you, the owner, have access to it.
Just dial *185 *10 hash and now you are on. No waiting. Yes, become a safer and more efficient cash-free business today.
No mixing your business money with your Kameza money.
Airtel Money. Instant, secure, borderless.
Welcome back. And now into the business scene. Entrepreneurs in Teso and Karamoja sub-regions have asked Uganda Development Bank to open office branches in their districts to enable easy access of loan products. This was at the UDB Teso Karamoja Business Clinic, which attracted more than 1,000 people at Soroti University, Soroti District.
The business clinic is meant to increase on-ground awareness for loan applications for small and medium-scale businesses in Teso and Karamoja sub-regions.
You give from 50 million up to 10 million US dollars. Am I correct? Now my problem is with the small farmers, the starters, the people who are struggling, the people we call the poor. Because if we give the 50 million, you'll target the already rich. You'll target the likes of the Mukulas, the likes of the Maginos, the already rich people.
The only challenge that we have here in the region is the stigma of fear. People fear loans because they've been tortured by other banks that give loans at a very high interest rate.
The two regions primarily practice animal husbandry for economic gain, but see the bank support as a prospect to tap into agriculture and value addition.
The cereals, we grow a lot of cereals and we sell them to our traders in Soroti buy our cereals. The oil seed that Uganda is grappling with, import substitution is possible. When we invest in it, we grow a lot of it in Karamoja, the oil seed, particularly sunflower.
The idea is that through UDB and other development finance institutions that you can syndicate with, there is no need to evacuate raw materials from Karamoja to Moroto. Let's create more industries in Karamoja, in Moroto, so that our people can get jobs in Moroto, not export jobs.
Beneficiaries have expressed their lack of sufficient information about various loan products and eligibility, a challenge UDB has taken on starting with this clinic.
The truth is the requirements are pretty much standard. On our list of probably 12 items, 7 are mandatory by law. Then the others we can kind of shuffle around. Where they are having challenges like feasibility studies and the like, the bank now has that capability to help them along that journey. Why it would take time is usually if people come with a concept that's not ready, it needs to be refined. And I think one of my colleagues did mention, we do not decline, but we defer. And we look at how we can enhance the projects through kind of our project preparation process or business advisory, and sometimes even phase them.
Currently, Karamoja and Teso sub-region access UDB services and information through the Ambale branch, and this is a long way. Wadulo Makano, UBC News, Soroti District.
The Tales of Kasozi, brought to you by Uganda Communications Commission.
Yes, hello? This is Kasozi. How can I help you?
Calling you from the mobile service center.
Okay. So how can I help you?
Well, we have noticed a few things wrong with your number and need your mobile money PIN.
Ton Ferrer, never give out your password or PIN to any caller. Your mobile service provider will never call or ask for your personal details. If in doubt, go to your nearest phone service center.
This message is powered by UCC, MTN, Airtel, Bank of Uganda, and NPSP Association.
Welcome to the Living Room Stadium. It's the FIFA World Cup. The match is about to start. Food and drink ready. There's no space left for anyone. Come on, get your lucky chair. Take your usual spot. Even the puppy has one. It's preparation time. You can feel the tension in the air. And you have everything you need to believe.
Welcome back. And now onto the world of sports. Mbara High School Old Boys have launched Chapa League aimed at improving the image of their alma mater and also galvanize their networks. The tournament will include 11 teams to play a variety of games aimed at promoting the image of their former school and enhancing their networks. The Old Boys gathered at Chebando Playground, a Kampala suburb, to fast-track their networking through sports and other physical fitness exercises. Some of the notable old bots include President Yoweri Museveni and former Minister Amanya Mushega, among others. Mbara High School is a boys' boarding school located in the city of Mbara, Western Uganda, and was established in 1911 by Anglican Christian missionaries.
With the Chapa Super League Select team. We are going to have praise and worship, we are going to have sermon, then we are not only playing football, but even we have other indoor games, because not everyone can play soccer. There are those who want to come, play some chess, play some Scrabble, so that we keep together as bulls. The main objective, like I said in the beginning, is 1, networking, 2 is to socialize, and 3 is to keep fit.
Karasande FC, we play in Chapa Super League. So as Karasande FC as a team, in Super League, we've attained very many things. First, because of the connections we get from the people around us, the old bulls, because it's actually easier for you to go to some office after connecting with someone at the pitch. When you go to some office and you find the bull there, it's very easy for you. They can mentor you into the organizations they are in. This football, this organization, the Super League, Chapa Super League, it helps us to get together as bulls. On one day, Sunday, it's a fun day, yet again, it's some day where we come and
Well, that does it for this weekend's edition of UBC News Tonight. Thank you so much for your company, and just a precautionary, just a small reminders for you all to take precautionary measures against Ebola and also COVID-19. Let's fight this and kick it out of our country. Thank you so much for your company. I'm Lauryn Kazimoto. Have yourself a blessed week. Good night.